Coming now is a few words from our partners at Allstate. As I said earlier, we at the Atlantic could not do the Renewal Series without Allstate's support, collaboration, and vision. So it gives me a real pleasure to welcome to the stage Cynthia Whitfield-Story. Cynthia is the Field's Senior Vice President of the Southern Region for Allstate, and she's at one side or the other.
Here I am.
Right in front of me. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Good morning, New Orleans. How you guys doing? Good morning. Can we give another round of applause for that panel? They did fabulous. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about my wonderful company called Allstate Insurance Company. And it's a pleasure for me to be here with you today because Allstate is sponsoring this event, and it's our third annual Renewal Awards and Celebrate Community-Based Innovation. Together with our partners, the Atlantic, thank you, Bob, and your group, we proudly shine a spotlight on the 5 Renewal Award winners for 2017. As Field's Senior Vice President for Southern Region at Allstate, including this great city, I actually have the state of Louisiana in our 5 states and love to come to Louisiana. A lot of food. I always wear some stretchy clothes, so I know because I'm going to eat a lot, but I absolutely love it here. But I salute all of those who are making a meaningful difference at the local level, and I'm so honored to be here today. On a personal note, I share your drive to help people and make a difference. Giving back has been a big part of my adult life. I am currently on 2 boards in the state of Tennessee. I represent Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Middle Tennessee, and I'm also on the board of the YWCA of Nashville. Both support the same visions of the Renewal Awards program. And I just want to give you a little bit of information. When I got the opportunity to speak here, and I start combining and looking at things and saying, oh, this connects to Big Brothers, Big Sisters, this connects to the YWCA, and everything was just building together, and it was the right thing for me to do. So I thank you, Tara, and others that are really being a part of this. Throughout my career, I've experienced firsthand our company's commitment to communities everywhere. We value the people and small businesses that are the fabric of our everyday life. At our core, that's who we are at Allstate. At Allstate, we have our local community, a network of 10,000 small businesses across the country. I actually have a small group here. Can I get you just to stand real quick? I want you to see some of the agents that came to support this program today. Can you stand, please? Thank you. Thank you. They are our boots on the ground in cities, towns, and neighborhoods where innovation and change happen every day. Today, we celebrate individuals working tirelessly and often below the radar to find creative solutions to our nation's most pressing challenges. That's the spirit we celebrate with the Renewal Awards. Today, it is our privilege to honor these social innovators and change agents who are putting their values into action in their cities every single day. We at Allstate share the commitment. In every aspect of our business, we strive to do the right thing. Every day, we focus on 3 key areas. The first one is we need to make sure we're taking care of our customers throughout the country. Secondly, building strong small businesses. Our agencies actually own their own businesses here. And third, working to improve local communities. Now, what I want to do is to switch a little bit onto the company. You guys okay if I brag a little bit about Allstate Insurance Company a little bit? All right, thank you. So here we go. One way we sponsor local neighborhoods is by empowering young people to fulfill their potential and lead safe, productive lives. That's why it's a pleasure to sponsor the Allstate Youth Empowerment Award. We'll actually find out who the winner of that is shortly today. Each of the finalists showcased the tremendous work being undertaken at the grassroots level to support our youth in underserved communities. These initiatives are changing lives in 5 key areas. First one is programs focusing on mentoring and training. Just think when you get the opportunity to work with a young person and either be their sole person that helps guide them and coach them and direct them, that's a big key. The second one is really employment opportunities. How do you be successful? You got to have a job, right? I mean, we all need to have financial things to make us do what we have to do. Third is storytelling, and I want to spend a little bit of time on that. I spoke with a lot of the winners last night, and what we found out is they were telling their story. There is such a great wealth of knowledge and awareness that most of us don't even understand, and the opportunity to be able to tell your story in a way that you make people just stop in their steps and just say, okay, maybe I can do something different, maybe I can make a difference. And then that was key last night, and all of the winners had that skill set. And the fourth is closing the opportunity gaps, and the fifth is support for at-risk families. Those are the 5 key areas that we'll talk about when you listen to the winners today. We can think of no better way to change communities than by empowering youth to improve their future and ours. Allstate's own commitment to helping young people takes many forms. We have our foundation. Through that foundation, we offer tools and resources for youth to build character, achieve academic success, gain leadership skills, find their voice, and share their stories. As engaged citizens, young people can mobilize others to volunteer and give back. And I think we all had a good opportunity to see that this weekend all over the country, the young people, what they were able to do, not only in our country, but also in the world. So many things can happen just by youth getting out there and getting involved. So if you're parents, teachers, make sure you encourage people to really be able to have a voice, because there's many things that they can do. Also, Allstate also leads the change on teen safe driving. How many of you guys have teenagers out here? Okay. They are usually bad drivers. I'm just telling you from experience. I've been doing this for over 30 years. So we have a program around teen safe driving, and it works to try to reduce fatalities. The #1 reason why youth die in accidents is because they're usually driving too fast, they're not paying attention, texting, talking on the phone, and things like that. So to date, when we go in and do our calculations, we have actually helped more than 1.5 million young drivers throughout the United States. So I'm really proud of that. We have another partnership with Free the Children. We support and reward youth for volunteering all across America. So just think, you volunteer, Allstate is there, and we work in the communities, and we actually recognize those kids so that they start that skill early in their lives to give back. In 2017, the Allstate Foundation, Allstate Corporation, and our employee and agency force, now I want you to listen to these numbers. We raised more than $47 million in 2017. And that's just for local communities. And then if you take the whole last decade, it's totaled over $326 million that we've put back into communities. So I think that's a huge, huge effort on the company's behalf. I hope you can see why Allstate considers ourselves a force for good. We have 75,000 people, which includes agencies, employees, and agency staff. And here's 2 other numbers that I want to share with you. 60% of our employee base throughout the country do volunteer work in their community. 60%. It is part of our culture and what we do each and every day. Out of our agency force, which we have the 10,000 I talked about earlier, over 90% of them volunteer in their community. So if you have an Allstate agency in your community, I would advise you to stop in, have a conversation. They do a lot of local work, and maybe they can help your organization. So I really encourage you to do that. So when you're riding by, going to the grocery store, maybe one day you just pop in and say, hey, I was at this event. I understand that Allstate supports community. Can we talk about my goal and my initiatives? Okay, so I just encourage you to do that. Our chairman and CEO, Tom Wilson, has set forth a compelling vision for corporations to focus on the amount of good they can do for society. His message is this: by integrating the social impact into corporations' purpose, it's good for business. I'm going to say that again because I think people sometimes don't really understand that. His message is that integrating social impact into corporations' purpose is good for business. So what do I mean by that? What does that actually generate? So what it translates into is having greater customer loyalty, right? So if we're involved in something, a customer sees us out there volunteering on their initiative, they're going to be more loyal to the corporation. It also helps us retain, attract, and develop employees and agencies. So we are growing our business from the grassroots also, just like some of the award winners that we're going to talk about today. It's no coincidence that we're here in New Orleans for the 3rd annual Renewal Awards. These Renewal Award finalists and winners demonstrate that more progress can be made solving problems locally, and I think the panel shared that with you. Sometimes you just got to fix your own issues where they live. And we can't always expect the government and others to come in and solve that for us, so we just have to get busy doing it ourselves. Our 5 winners are perfect examples of power of local institutions. Just a little bit about them. From a community gathering place to education and mentoring support, entrepreneurial skills, and starting a small business, these grassroots innovators offer proof of what's possible as America renews itself from the ground up. The Renewal Project's mission is to find and tell the story of pragmatic problem solvers wherever they are. In addition to the Renewal Awards, the Renewal Project includes reporting on websites. The website is therenewalproject.com. Please take a look at that. It's phenomenal. It tells you stories about heroes. It includes community leaders. It talks about teachers. It talks about the nonprofit organizations and just regular folks that are trying to do some things differently in the world. The project also comes to life around social media platforms as well as through events and polling. So that's how they get their information to make sure that we're communicating the right information. I hope you join the conversation by finding us on the website or social media and sharing the Renewal Project stories that most inspire you. And if you know someone in your local community who is making a difference, we want to hear about it. You can talk to Marge Meyer, the Renewal Project editorial director. Is Marge in the room? Can you stand up, Marge? Let's recognize her. She does phenomenal work, and I want you guys, if you can grab her, you're not going anywhere, right? You're going to be here, but I think there's a huge opportunity. She's got her cards, but talk to her. There's so many people out there, and a lot of communities, they don't know about this amazing award opportunity and this amazing project thing that you guys do with the community. So we just have to get the word out more, I believe. Today, we honor 5 incredible Renewal Award winners. By their example, they inspire others to drive change in their communities. I've had the opportunity to meet with all of them last night. We went to dinner, and I can tell you, I left there just fired up, totally committed to the cause, and they just shared each individual story to a point where you said they saw something and they did something, right? How many of us see something, we don't do anything about it, but they saw something, they did something, and now it's exploded, right? So we all have that opportunity to do that. So what I say to you is, Allstate is a proud sponsor of the Renewal Project, celebrating the winners and supporting the good being done every day to renew communities and bring hope to others. Now I'd like to introduce you to Levante Stewart, one of last year's Renewal Award winners. While you may not find him in magazines, newspapers, or online, I would say yet to that, because I think this guy's going to be a superstar. You are guaranteed to find him hard at work planting the seeds of hope that bring about renewal and change in communities across the country. I'd invite you to join me in listening to Levante's story and celebrating the accomplishments of these innovators. I ask you also to pull out your tissues, because you're probably going to have a few tears, because I've seen it 3 times, and I get choked up every time. So with that, I want to thank you all, congratulate the winners, the runner-ups, and the finalists. Thank you so much.
I'm Levante Stewart Sr., founder and executive director of Lost Boys, Inc., one of the 5 winners of the 2017 Renewal Award. Lost Boys is a sports-based youth development organization focused on violence prevention using the platforms of organized baseball and girls fast-pitch softball. The Renewal Award from Allstate enabled us to improve our SYL, our teen worker program. We were able to double the number of kids served through that program.
I live in Chicago. I didn't see everything. If I didn't see it, I heard about it. I could be sitting in my room or walking down the streets and I hear gunshots or something like that. I'm just thankful I'm still living.
Around here, for a kid just to get a first job or a summer job, it's almost near impossible. Usually if kids can't find a job, they turn to the street and they make a job. Children were beginning to age out of the league, and they were running into problems, whether it was kids being shot, kids being incarcerated. So we had to figure out a way to keep them in.
I'm Tiara. I'm 16. I'm a junior coach. I get to coach and play.
About 4, almost 5 years ago, we launched our Successful Youth Leaders Program. For some of these kids, this is their very first job, and so it's huge. It's really exciting. The Allstate Renewal Award made it possible for us to double the number of kids served through that program.
You need this help, you need this support, so having this title is big to me.
It's a monumental step for them, a way to combat something darker that's typically waiting on them.
The people that's doing stuff for the youth, them the good people to me. Because y'all giving us an opportunity to not be in the streets. Y'all giving us an opportunity to follow the right path. I got goals in life.
For those who are lucky enough to win this award, I tell them to treasure it, to use it as a springboard because it's going to take you to a whole new level